Hey, happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast, featuring your host, Locarthemanbeast. Also featuring me, the DjLobsterDust. How we doing?
Oh, you just gave me a great idea. I want to change everything about this podcast into just the
Clown culture.
no.
Juggalos.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, but I was thinking more of the sell guy. You know, the dude who does
like
this
mad money?
Yeah,
or,
mad
God.
money.
I went two directions with that. Either slap chop or ShamWow or mad money. Both of them, I think, involve beating hookers.
That's what we should do. We should start an infomercial for each of the games that we talk about. Just like get a spindle, like, and it just rotates. Just talk about all the negative things.
Dude, I got a green screen. I'll pop it up.
Green
just a
screen.
big rotating thing behind us. Yeah, green screen.
Have you ever used it?
Nah.
Yeah.
No, so when I was at the apartment, I got it, and I was going to try to make a backdrop of the apartment, and then I was going to test it out so that when I moved, it's like it never changed.
Uh-huh.
And then for some reason, it's like when we were doing this, I couldn't get, because I was trying to set it up in OBS, but then it wouldn't let me use OBS camera in Discord for us to record.
Interesting.
So I just kind of,
yeah,
lost track of it.
Yeah. Could give a shit.
Raj.
Yeah, Raj.
Yeah.
Oh man, how's your week been?
Great. Jobs are not coming through,
and you're just a fucking
guinea pigs are
murderer.
dying.
You're murderer.
Nah, I think it's the ghost.
I think it's a ghost too. That we were talking about that earlier today. I was like, there's only two things it could be: upper respiratory infection or ghost.
I think the ghost gave it an upper respiratory infection.
Or, like I said, it's like a canary system. This is your early warning to find out that the house that you've moved into is just needs to be condemned.
I'm still going to podcast in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd go out with a bang. What is it? Mesothelioma.
Do you or a loved one? Another infomercial.
Oh man. So what's new in the world of video games?
Helldivers has got an update. They improved upon heavy armor and headshot damage from what I've heard. Great glowing reviews.
You know, I've been watching Sean play. I feel bad for Sean. Sean has been trying to get us to play Helldivers for like 2 weeks now, if not longer.
2 months now.
Yeah. The thing is, Sean's too nice of a guy. You know what I mean? He's too nice. Like, hey, do you guys want to play Helldivers? And we're all like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, Sean needs to be like, you pieces of shit. I thought you were my fucking friends. Will you spend one goddamn night and play a video game with me?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, yes, sorry, dude. Let me download. Let's play fucking Helldivers. He's too nice. I've re-downloaded and installed the Helldivers just for Sean.
Me too.
I haven't told him that yet.
I'm ready and I'm willing. And even though I recognize like he is too nice, I'm not going to do it until he's not.
Yeah. I want him to blow.
I needed this. My big boy pants.
Yeah. And then that way you'd be like,
you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The way you yelled at the sun for being too hot, Sean, that's the attitude that you need.
But I need him to do it just so I can be like, Jesus fucking Christ, fine, I'll play games with you. Wow, I can't believe you're such a piece of shit about that. Just gaslight him into it.
Really.
But I did yesterday. I downloaded it because when we were sitting, was it yesterday? We were sitting around playing games, and he kept asking about Helldivers. He did it like 2 or 3 times last night, and then we were like,
Yeah,
"No, we're gonna play."
Me, but we were gonna go play Outlast.
Yeah, that's right. When you popped in channel, me and Aaron were playing Tarkov. Maybe that's what it was. And he's like, Tarkov, do you want to play Helldivers with us? You're like, no.
No, I was like, yeah, sure, I will. I thought we were playing Spoopy, but I'll run a couple with you. And then I didn't have it downloaded.
Yeah.
It's there now, Sean.
Yeah.
Sweet little angel boy.
It's Aaron kind of said something about it. He was like, when he was watching Sean today, he was like, wow, this looks exactly how we left it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing about Helldivers is like, it doesn't, I guess you could say that about any game, but it didn't seem like, just because there's new guns and stuff, there's nothing new. You're just killing robots or killing bugs and getting out, right? Like, I mean, there's a few new missions and stuff. I don't know if, I think that might be what turned my brain off from Helldivers was that it's not building enough. Like, if it is an extraction shooter in a sense, you could very lightly place it that way. If it was more of like a roguelite, where like you drop in and then like you gear up while you're in and kind of like get like abilities and your fucking stratagems while you're on the map before you get out, and had it more of like a roguelite, I feel like I'd be like way more invested in continuing to play. I can see that. Been kind of sucking down roguelites lately. There's this, Steam, what is it? Freshmex is going on right now. What the fuck is it called?
Steam Freshmex? Everything with Latino inspiration is 25% off.
Next Fest, I think is what it is.
Same thing in my brain. Please explain more.
So it's just like it's a showcase on Steam of like upcoming games that are coming out that developers are like, we have vertical slices or demos for these games. Give them a try. Tell us what you think, type of thing. Like, it's an early hands-on look at video games, but it's gone back to the original ways, like when we were kids, of getting like demo discs, of being able to just play a bunch of fucking demos for things. Like,
God, demo discs are sick.
Dude, demo discs are so sick. There's nothing cooler than fucking getting PlayStation or PC World and then like getting a demo disc with your subscription. Fucking peeling the plastic, not even looking at the magazine, just popping the fucking disc in, seeing what demos were on, and then going and reading the magazine. God. We had it so good as kids. We had it so good. I miss the days and age of demo discs, and like that was your best way of getting your hands on a video game and seeing how things are going, and like being able to, and like the gaming world being able to judge how things work, like, because they weren't giving you demos for things that they were going to fix. They weren't early access. It was like, this is what we're putting out. Like, are you guys ready? And like,
that's your chance to sell, especially in like an early market where fucking like the increasing price of video games was like, what the fuck, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I mean, fucking 50 for a game, 40 for a game. That's insane.
We were so poor, but my dad was like, I can get you the subscription, because I had a couple subscriptions when I was a kid. My dad was like, I can't pay for video games all the time, but like subscriptions were like $10 a month or maybe less for certain video game magazines.
Yeah.
So I remember I had PC World and PlayStation, and then I had a subscription to Shonen Jump for manga, for anime. And those are like the 3 things I had. My dad was like, I can do that. That's all you can do. So I had a spindle of fucking demo discs when I was a kid for PlayStation 1.
Dude.
And that was all I could play, because I had Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solid, and Gran Turismo 2, I think is what I had on PlayStation 1. And then everything else was demo discs for the longest time.
I had Nintendo, like Nintendo N64, stuff like that. And I think I had a subscription, or my mom did, for like Nintendo World Magazine or whatever, or Nintendo Power. That's what it was. And then around the time that like I got my Xbox, that's when it was like, okay, we're not buying you games anymore. Like, you have to. And so it was like, I had like weed eat for fucking like a week or something to get enough money for like my allowance to start like saving and like buying games. And that's when it started getting sparse. And I mean, sometimes it was the better bet to just take that, get a fucking demo disc, and like I remember, God, I think like early days, the first Lord of the Rings video game. I had a video, like a demo disc of that. I think I played a demo level like a billion times. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand, but I was like, oh, this is sick. Never actually played the game. Played the fuck out of the demo.
I was gonna say I remember when the subscriptions had to stop because my dad couldn't afford it at the time period. I remember fucking picking up cans and stuff and taking cans into Safeway and Pollock to get enough money so I could go into the store to buy that month's magazine with a demo disc in it. And then when I got real bold, I just popped the backs of them open and stole the demo disc and left. But fuck, dude. There was a game on the PlayStation called Ridge Racer, and the demo for Ridge Racer, I remember this fucking like it was yesterday. So the demo for Ridge Racer was a snow level, and if you ran the map and finished the race, it would end and start back over, and you would have to go back in and restart the demo. And like it was just a constant shit fest. I turned around one time on the map, and all that happened is the symbol popped up for going wrong way. But you could do the map as long as you wanted with never fucking ending because you were going the wrong way. So you never finished the three laps you had to do. Oh my God. I might have, when I realized that's where my autism kicked in. And I must have done that fucking game for like 4 hours, just one map, just going the wrong direction and like seeing how fast I could get around. And like, because the timer wouldn't tick, I had my own stopwatch and I was like stopping myself to like test it. I'm telling you, being poor was the original start of my like speedrunning like addiction. Because when I had the PlayStation 2, like even though I did chores and stuff, there was no money, so it wasn't like allotted an allowance. There was nothing there. It was you do chores because you're allowed to eat in this house, and so my only time for getting new games was if I had my own money, or if it was my birthday or Christmas. That was it. That was the only time I got new video games from like my dad, because that's all my dad could afford at the time. So fine, no big deal. I used to fucking rob the shit out of places to make up for that though. But so a lot of video games I got that I ended up playing through or having, I would just learn to run as fast as possible. And then that was the start of like my speedrunning addiction, seeing how fast I can get through. That was like, we were talking about Tarkov today. Like it's just what my brain naturally goes to.
You min-maxing as we're actively scamming like the system and abusing an exploit. Like, is it even worth it? What do you mean? Is it even worth it? Well, if I can't do it in 6 minutes and I can't get 2 key cards, it's like, what are you talking about?
It's about time invested, man.
You just have a problem.
I do, man. But that's what happened. Look at what happened, man. I took a little bit of theory crafting. I min-maxed a little bit. I ran a total of 9 raids. I took 2 it took 2 raids worth of loot, right? I ran 9 raids. I took 2 raids worth of loot and walked away with 12 or 13 million.
I mean,
and I only did it in 6-minute increments, and I still have 5 or 6 uses left on my key.
I've made 10. It was like just over 10 off 2 uses.
So about the same.
And a new key is like 14 for a
10,
full
10 out of 10.
Full 10 out of 10. So, I mean, I'll run one more, sell, buy, and then everything else is just profit. And then I'll just abuse this.
Yeah, because once I get down to like 2 uses, then I'll just sell that key as well, make up the money from the 2 use on it. That'll just go right back into buying another. Or what I'll do.
What's a 1 use? Like 3 mil?
No, it's more than that. It's like 5 or something like that, 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
So
I was gonna say, because
one
worth it just to get that extra use.
I mean, 1 or 2 is not the difference in like amount of money that you're gonna make, right? Because the next thing from here is like what we're talking about is I may even want to swap over to doing reserve marquees, so I can break them down and then turn them into a customs marked key and save myself the trouble of buying that. Because the reserve marquees.
How much are all 3 of the keys?
Well, remember, all 3 of the keys at 1 or 2 uses for 1 run, and then transitioning that 1 use into a full 10 out of 10 marked room key for customs is going to be a much better value overall.
Yeah, I think the thing with me is just getting the loot and then surviving and actually making it back with the loot from the marked room keys. I don't like reserve enough to know it well enough to be confident that I will successfully make it out with all the stuff I've shoved inside me.
That's a good point. I mean,
speaking of things shoved inside you, man, I hate to take us off topic, but I was watching like TikToks and somebody was like, man, Cardi B and Offset just like arguing back and forth on Twitter because like they cheated on each other. Like he cheated on her a whole bunch of times. So then she finally like went out and cheated. Now he's pissed and they're like just airing it out back and forth. And he said something. He's like, just imagine like you're going back and forth with your girl, right? Like you wouldn't, but like just imagine if you were, and you feel like it's pretty even. It's like a game of tennis. You're bap, 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 bap. And then she hits you with, I will never argue with a man who have put fingers inside of. Game over.
That's what you gotta huck it back and be like, bitch, you're the one who was willing to do that. Like, how low do you gotta be?
Well, to their point, he's all, not fingers. He put an S on the end of that. What do you say? Nothing? Yep, that's exactly what he did. Nothing.
We all saw Sean William Scott. We brought that up the other night. It's like, so I put two fingers in.
Europe trip?
Did I say two?
Road trip.
Yeah. Did I say two?
Better make it three.
Better make it three. I mean, that's a weird point to like bring up because it's like,
I'll let you do that in confidence.
Yeah, well, not only just that, but it's like when sexual gratification comes out, man, you're into some weird shit. You know, you do some weird shit to hit that nut. You know, it's like you don't, you know, and when it's with your significant other or whatever, you break boundaries. You go through shit and be like, I'm gonna try this and see if I like it, and if I like it, like, and you're into it, we're gonna do it. You know?
Yeah, my girl just made me do some weird shit the other night. She was like, fucking, you know what I want? I want you to do the dishes. And I did them. She loved it, dude. Fucking the whole sink just fucking done. Pretty sure she came.
Yeah, but that's the difference. The idea is you need to be coming together. Not only one person. If one person's getting a nut, then it's just masturbation at that point.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't get anything out of that.
Yeah,
if anything, my fingers got pruny, and I don't like that feeling.
I don't mind pruny fingers. I mind. Okay, I work a lot. When I get pruny fingers, and then because of like the calluses and stuff, and they fucking peel, and then like a day later,
don't like that.
They like fall apart, and you can like skin off. Oh, that's the one. I'm like, no. You know, the thing that fucking weirds me out, and this is ever since I figured out this is like one of my. It's not a phobia, but it's my nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, oh, God, it's my nails.
I don't know what you're about to say, but I just got the like heebie-jeebies.
When I used to clean fish tanks at Petco, and you scrape your nails against rocks underwater. Oh, dude, it gives me the creeps, dude. Something about feeling your nails underwater when you're wet or whatever, and then just like scraping against porous things. Oh, it is the most uncomfortable fucking thing ever.
I don't like it.
Nope. That and giant dead fish. Something about we could pick up dead animals all day long. Didn't give a shit. Even the feeder tanks, when you had like 500 fucking dead fish, you were just scooping into a fucking bag because there's just all dead feeders. Never bugged me. But when like a fucking 6-inch Oscar was dead and you had to like pull it out of the tank. Oh, dude, I just got the weird fucking feel off of it, man. Like, get it in the fucking net, and it's like heavy, you know, and you tie it off. It's like, and like, I like fish. Like, I've had big fucking pieces of trout or salmon and stuff like that. You know, it's dead and you cook it and shit. It's like, that doesn't bother me. But
there's a difference when it's dead and it's like it's been cleaned. And then when it's been sitting like stagnant in a tank or something,
Yeah.
and it's like you feel it slide, so you get that extra grip on it because you need to.
Yeah. That's the thing.
But after you've let go of it, you still got that, like you still feel that slippery sensation.
Well, that mucus membrane on the fish start to just fucking, it's almost like a mold. It just kind of like comes off them. You kind of pop them and the whole water just kind of clouds.
Change the subject.
Yeah. I asked you last week. I'm going to hit you with this question because I'm really interested.
Oh, I had homework.
Did you? Okay, cool.
No, I had homework.
Oh, you didn't do
mean
it.
I did it.
Yeah,
no, I don't even remember the question.
Come on. I know. That's why I'm going to re-ask it.
Okay.
Worst video game.
Hold on.
Welcome to the segment. We asked Brad questions about video games he won't be able to answer.
Ask.
What is the worst video game you ever played, and no matter how many times you have played it, it has never gotten any better? Whether it be the first time or multiple times. What is the worst video game for you? And like, we can't, okay, and I'm going to preface this. You can't put in these shitty 99-cent games that we've been playing, like Tyrone Souls.
Fuck, dude, that was up there.
You got to get it out. You got to play like something that is like considered, I wouldn't say AAA, but like, you know, that had some, okay, like a perfect example. I don't mean this for
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, or like Haze.
I didn't play that though.
Do you remember?
That doesn't count.
Do you remember when Haze came out and it was supposed to be the Halo killer for fucking PlayStation? It was just a complete dog shit ass game, like something like that. That like had hype, had momentum, was something that was supposed to be amazing, but it was dog shit, and you played it and it was still dog shit, and you couldn't get over it.
The first one that comes to mind, I think, would be. I mean, there's the obvious ones like fucking.
Come on, putting it out in the universe. I want to see if you say something close to what I'm thinking.
My first go-to is 99 Nights. From like a long time ago. It wasn't anything against the game. I was like sold on it.
Yeah.
And then I played it and I was like, I am fucking not into this.
99 Nights was a
God, what's that one that just fucking flopped? It was around the same time as Atomic Heart. Fucking was it Arcane Austin put it out?
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of them. But Arcane Austin has not had any bad hits except for fucking Redfall.
Redfall.
Oh, yes.
But I haven't played that one either. But like when I'm thinking of things, like those are obviously like just flop on demand, like overpromised, like things that were pushed that like people are like, what the fuck is this? But I think the one that stands out for me, I mean, I'm sure there's other ones, but 99 Nights was just one I was like, dude, this is gonna be fucking so sick. And then I played it and it's like, it's just a big hack and slash. Like everything just runs at you, you just fucking kill it. But like it was always like the same 2 moves you did.
Yeah.
Or fucking wasn't Paradox. Pariah. It's another Xbox 360 game.
Pariah?
Where it looked really cool and like it started out cool in the game, and then by the time like you got through the tutorial, once you hit the actual game, it just felt like you were the dead fish waiting to be picked up, like just getting slimy. Like it was just a whole bunch of like, it had, if I remember correctly, like it had, I would put it somewhere probably as a cross between Halo and like Red Faction.
Okay.
And the way that you like moved and shot, and there was like a thing where like you like splice different genes or something into you, and like it had like a lot of promise, and then you just actually got to the meat and potatoes of the game, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And like so much so where like I play the game over and over again expecting to get a different result, because like it did have that potential, and you go back and you play it and you're just like, God, and then like time goes by, like maybe I just like I was doing it wrong or something, and you try it again, like it's like it gave you an itch that itself couldn't scratch.
Man, okay, I'm glad you're kind of hitting that like going back and trying it again. So there was a couple games for me that had that same thing. Fear 3 comes to mind because the Fear 1 and Fear 2 were such good games. Fear 3 was dog shit. It was so hard. And I played that game multiple times over and over trying to fucking find love for it. Dead Space 3 is another one of those fucking games. Like where just you had these two fucking first games that were just so creepy and so weird and so good, and then you just shit the bed with the franchise with like this third game that just didn't make any fucking sense, and it was just an awful experience. And I tried it so many times because they had it was the first time a Dead Space game had like co-op, and I was like, dude, let's go. And it was just a dog shit. It felt like a bad Lost Planet. I was
It always hits an extra nerve when it feels like it tarnishes the legacy of like something good.
absolutely
Like that's almost the worst part, you know.
that you're absolutely right, because that's how I started feeling with like the Assassin's Creed games. There's another one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I feel like it could have been an Assassin's Creed for me.
Yeah.
If I didn't stop playing them because it just started pissing me off so much, you know?
Yeah, by the time I got to Brotherhood, right before or right after or right before Assassin's Creed 3 came out, I was like, I think they peaked. You know what I mean?
Was
Like
Brotherhood the one where they had like the multiplayer game where you'd like become like different like assassins you had to hunt through?
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
that's about where they lost me.
So the multiplayer or the PvP version of Assassin's Creed they brought out was actually really fucking cool. It was just not well done. It was a cool concept. I fucking was all about it for a long time, but it was really shitty.
Yeah.
I was also the reason why I was thinking about this because I have such a fucking hate for new video games nowadays. I'm like, I'm having a hard time finding the good in video games. And I was going back and I was like, have video games always, a lot of this goes back to the book that I've been reading, that fucking Jason Schreier book on Blizzard, because I was like, man, maybe I've just had like fucking hard nostalgia goggles for a long time. And like, maybe the game industry has just been dog shit forever. And there's just only these squeaks of like amazing shit that has popped out that just kind of puts blinders on and like puts me back in that fucking kick. You know what I mean? Like you hit like black tar the first time in your life, and then you do hillbilly heroin for 6 months, and then you get black tar again. You're like, oh wait, heroin's dope. You know what I mean? Like it's just like there's no like rhyme or reason to certain things, but like the more I started going back and looking at it, because the book has really been kind of opening my eyes about the gaming industry. And it's like, man, when someone that you were fucking behind the longest time as a developer, as a fucking industry standard, you start to like see all the red flags for so many years, and you're like, oh no, they never thanked Beyonce, you know? It's there's enough of this to start to go back, and I was like, you know, how many fucking video games are actually like that? Like, how much money have I spent on dog shit ass games? And then I'm just like, I don't really think about how bad an industry is or like a developers are, because every once in a blue moon they pump out something good. Because the reason why I was thinking about this is like Starfield's another perfect example of like a company that I fucking love, Bethesda, right? And like recently Bethesda has not done well. Fine, got that. But it's like you see like these great legacies falling or like producing shit now, and you're like, well, is it the industry that's, you know, you see people like the Ubisoft game, they're like, oh, gamers are just too invested in having the best of the best, and we can't fucking appease gamers and blah 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 blah. And it's like, again, you're producing shit, but then you look at it and it's like, well, it's always kind of been shit. Like every Assassin's Creed has been shit. Like, what are we bitching about now? Like, if they give us the same thing we loved in 2007 to today, like, would we really care? Like, if Assassin's Creed 1 was fucking phenomenal and it was dog shit, and Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio is what fucking drove that franchise into stardom, and they still give you the same almost kind of shit buggy game that they gave you then, like Bethesda, like, are you do you really have any reason to bitch and complain? Like, it's the same good shit.
So Assassin's Creed, the first one, two was
2 was good.
way better.
2 was good.
One, I think, introduced. I mean, if I had to like akin it to anything, like their almost offshoot of like something Prince of Persia-esque. I wouldn't call it like a completely original idea, but like one was kind of like, what if we did a game like this? And they kind of borrowed from that. Two kind of established it.
Yeah.
When you start moving forward in the franchise, it started losing me just because like, well, what are you doing? And then I did kind of enjoy when they started going to like other cultures and kind of working stuff like that in. But I don't think it's always been shit. I think sometimes they take a swing and a miss, and then sometimes that swing and a miss brings about something better. And I don't fault people for swinging and missing, but when they're it's like going up to the plate. Swing, miss, swing, home run. Cool. I feel like nowadays they're just trying to get their like baseball picture, you know? They're not even like at a bat, like they're not swinging at anything.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make something look really flashy and cool and fucking push it out.
Well, and that's another thing too, because it's like, man, it's hard to fucking say because again, if I go back to play, okay, like talk about Borderlands. Borderlands 1 is such a good fucking game. Such a good game. Story, gameplay, it changed the way that certain games like that even worked. Like the cell shading alone was something so. If you go back and play Borderlands 1 today, it's rough, dude. It's like hard rough. You play Borderlands 3 and you're like, I love Borderlands 3. I played all of the DLCs. I really love Borderlands. You know, you play Tiny Tina's and you're like, if you loved the original Borderlands, you play Tiny Tina's, like, what don't you like? Why was Tiny Tina such a meh? You know? Like, Tiny. Because my next thing is also Borderlands 4 is coming out. And like, the track record feels like maybe we're going to hit that fucking...
You know, I think if the movie wasn't what it was, I would give Borderlands 4 a lot more leniency and just say like, oh, maybe Tiny Tina's was just like, you know, let's try something else, because it's not like they labeled it as like it's within the Borderlands universe, but maybe they're just trying to, you know, take a stab at something. Take that swing.
Well, yeah, because
But then when you follow it up with the Borderlands movie and things like that, which I guess technically I still haven't seen, so maybe I'm just judging from false perspective.
If the majority of people that have seen it are like, it's kind of dog shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard for, even if you're the person that the outlier that goes, it's great. Objectively, the majority finds it as a dog shit ass movie, you know? Because there's a bunch of new games on the horizon. And I think a lot of it is kind of like this Next Fest thing of like seeing some of these new games coming out. I'm like,
it's a 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It's a 10% on Rotten Tomato.
I mean, it was a 2.5 for the longest time. So, I mean, I guess improvements are improvements.
I was gonna say, has it reached streaming sites yet?
Well, it went to Amazon for sure for a while there, where it was like you could buy it on Amazon.
You could rent it. Yeah.
I don't know if it's free yet, but that's the same thing with like the Joker movie. You know what I mean? You take something so fucking amazing like Joker 1. Like Joker 1 was a good fucking movie. You know what I mean? It was just so far outside of the normal fucking like MCU, DCU fucking thing that they had going on, that it was just so far out that it was just weird and really
dark
fucked
and
up.
Settling.
Yeah, you were just like, you felt fucked up for watching it type of thing, you know? Like you felt him like the whole time when he kills a dude and like the guy's in there and it, like the fucking...
It was like Uncut Gems, how it just like, it makes you uncomfortable from like beginning to end.
Yeah. And then
evokes emotion.
And then you go into making like a musical.
My theory on that, it was such a like, holy shit, this guy's gonna get a fucking Oscar. This is so good. Let's remember he did The Hangover prior to this. Like he went from like comedies to this. He just takes a big swing. He's like, I fucking got what it takes. And he thought he was Tarantino. And he went to Bangkok and he locked himself in a hotel room to write Joker 2. And he's just doing fucking heroin, cocaine, and probably banging ladyboys. And comes out, he's like, I got it. And they're like, dude, you did so good last time. Like, go ahead. What could you possibly do that wouldn't go right?
I feel like if the movie's preference was like, hey, the musical is just because the Joker character is fucking insane, and like this is how he see, like there's a an old short way back in the day. So Team Fortress 2 used to put out shorts. Valve used to put out shorts for Team Fortress 2, and they did it for each of the characters. They did it for the sniper, they did it for the scout, the heavy, things like that. And then they got to the pyro, and like it's like one of those like anonymous like things where like you see like the silhouette
yeah, it's all black,
yeah, blacked out, and like that guy fucking scares me. Like I don't like you just don't cross him or whatever. And like it's like this whole thing, and then it goes to like the pyro, and you see him like like laughing, like lighting people on fire, and then it like zooms into like his perspective of what he sees, and it's all like rainbows and fluffy clouds, and he's like dancing around. There's like marshmallow people coming at him. He's like like he's like blowing bubbles and rainbows at people and stuff, but he's like lighting them on fire. And like that mentality right there was where I was like, oh my God, how dope. That's like I was talking about the indoctrination theory with like Mass Effect 3 was like, how dope would that be if they were like preference it by saying all the shit that you see, all this musical and all this like fucking grandeur or whatever that's playing on is just because inside the Joker's head he's just insane and that's what he's seeing. And I was like, that would be fucking dope. That would be a great movie experience where like part of it is just in real time and you just see like the real fucked up shit. And then when it cuts back to like the Joker stuff, it's all this musical and this grand fucking thing. And it's like, that would be fucking a cool movie.
Now, have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I stole it and I got through the first few minutes of it.
I gotta go.
Sorry, thank Beyonce. That's
no one watches this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, I saw a clip and it was like a reel and it said me the entire time watching the Joker 2, and it was a scene from Joker 2, and Harley Quinn was like singing. He's like, please, I want you to stop singing. So she just like she kept singing. Please stop it. Please stop singing.
Yeah.
So it makes me think it's not just him.
No, I definitely don't think so. I definitely think that the movie is just trash. But I think that if they had preferenced that ahead of time, or that was the idea that they went with, it would be a completely different result for people going in and seeing it. Like if it started off real dark and drab, like the fucking first movie ended, and then as the more crazy as the Joker got, it went from them talking to like randomly
after the prison guard rape.
Yeah, after apparently. But like that type of scenario where like imagine us just talking and like a crazy person talking, and then all of a sudden it cuts from like one person having a conversation back to the Joker, and now all of a sudden there's like music in the background, and like the whole thing is going on, and he's talking and it's starting into this musical, and you're just realizing this guy is just fucking crazy and losing his mind. It's like that would be a cool fucking movie experience to see. Because then at the end of it, you'd be like, dude, okay, not only was if the music was dope and on par, because a lot of people have said specifically the original soundtrack for it is there's like good songs in the movie. There's like actual good songs that like you could really enjoy. Like just tying that with a crazy person, like that would be a cool experience. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. But like all that I like while you're saying that, I'm recapping all the times that you've said that you don't like Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, but like I just said, if the music is good. Oh man. I'm at that point where I'm ready to find the new games, the new things, to play the new stuff. I can't really
Yeah,
I can't really play Tarkov anymore, man. I'm
I
having
can and I do,
I do.
but the enjoyment is.
It's sliding.
I think the only thing that's really keeping me, other than like, we find this like exploit for fucking cheats and marked rooms, and it's like okay, like I'll stack up some money and stuff like that, but that's only going to take me like so far before like I have to like get back to those real just teeth pulling fucking quests.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for fucking like lighthouse keeper, I don't know.
Even still, I'm at a point where I'm looking at it, I'm like, some of my Lighthouse Keeper getting to Lighthouse Keeper are locked behind annoying ass fucking quest too. Like the only reason I'm even grinding for money is just so I can afford kits when I die. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's like there's not really much there that I'm like invested. Lightkeeper
It's
and
just
Kappa, but it's like what else is there?
I don't really even care about Kappa. If I'm being honest,
Well, you won't
like cool because you'll get more storage space, but I feel like on PVE it's kind of like,
well, Well, it's the same thing with the Lightkeeper. It's the same thing with fucking getting Shooterborn
Well,
done. Like it's just
nah, Shooterborn doesn't hold it for me.
no,
Lightkeeper, just because
you've never seen it.
even like just clips of his content, like what he has you do. I've seen one thing where he's like, "Oh my god, I get to finally meet Lightkeeper," and I saw like his first, like it's the only like NPC that you run up to and you have like dialogue options with. I've seen just the introduction to that, and that's it. Everything else is I really haven't seen much on. So that's I think what kind of like I'm sure if there was a lot of like content and videos out there, and I'm sure if I actually search for it, I'll see them. But like if there was more and I was more exposed to it and it didn't have that fucking like new shiny, then maybe I wouldn't care so much.
No,
But that's the only thing really keeping me
agree.
invested.
I agree because well, the thing is like at a certain point with PVE, okay, certain point with PVE is that you are going to complete everything.
Yeah,
you're just that's just the curse of it is it's going to be done.
I don't know if that I even have the. I think once I get Lightkeeper, we either wipe and that's what we find the fun in, or we're just running like every raid is a surprise, a secret Santa kit,
So
like to find the joy in it.
I kind of am going through both sides of this. So I was thinking about like, especially with this game, where I would find the most enjoyment, because I understand where people are saying, like I think it was Clean that was talking about it, where he was like, I go through these phases where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for fucking wipe. I'm so done. And then there's times where I'm like, man, I really wish that we didn't wipe right now. I'm having way too much fun with it. And then like back to that, like it just alternates. I want to wipe. I don't want to wipe. I want to wipe. I don't want to wipe. And your first time playing, like you don't want to wipe. And I feel like if you play only PvE, then you'll never experience what the wipe is. It's just like a progression tree of you getting more and more, which is nice. So I think on the flip side of that, like I kind of want to start playing PvP because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to
get that too.
I don't want to play with the cheaters.
I was almost hoping with us playing so much PvE that it would catch like
the bug.
Like the bug, but like Will's definitely up to speed. You're definitely up to speed as far as like map knowledge. Aaron's almost there too, so it's almost like we have enough to actually run like a 4-man or even like 2 split sets of 2 or like have enough people that are into it that if you wanted to give it a solid go, you could always run at least a duo,
Sure.
And try to knock out PvP.
Well, Rye was saying something on his stream the other night. It was like, was it a stream or something else? He was like, at what point, like, I want to play with friends. If we got into PvP and started playing, I want to play with friends, but like his account right now is locked behind his Zero to Hero challenge. She's like, how far do we take this before I'm like, okay, enough's enough? Because if other people start playing PvP, I want to be able to play with them. And like, if he's doing the Zero to Hero, he's not going to be able to play with other people. And I was like,
That's what we also do, Zero to Hero.
We Zero to Hero behind his Zero to Hero?
Yeah,
why not, right?
Nobody's dropping anybody anything. Nobody's bringing out anybody's gear.
I mean, because
Just hate.
Because realistically, for me, Tarkov has been great. It's done a lot. Like, I almost downloaded Arena today because I think the shooter bug that I'm looking for is the Call of Duty shooter. I want the respawn, the kit, the fucking... I don't know if I really want to play Call of Duty, but like, even to the point of like maybe even PUBG or something like that, like a battle royale. Like I want to get back into that. That's what I
kind of want a little bit of that.
I want that
I don't want it to be Call of Duty though.
I don't want it to be Call of Duty, but there's not much else.
I miss Call of Duty,
but
I don't want it to be Call of Duty, you know?
Yeah, no. Fucking what was Delta Force is out right now on the Next Fest. So they launched it to everybody. So remember how they did like the beta beforehand, and then or like what was it, like the early access or the alpha build or whatever people played. So the Next Fest is out, but people are fucking pissed. And I was like, why is everybody so goddamn mad right now? And apparently the Delta Force that they put out for the Next Fest is like an older build than people use that they played on that like beta weekend that they did for everybody else. So everybody's like, oh, this is like a worse build than what we already played. And it's like, why did you launch it like that?
They're like, no, it's okay. That was an older one. So you didn't even give us like your best shot at it.
Yeah. So like they gave it the worst, because apparently the older build that they put out allowed for a better quality of multiple people, like a stress test of the server, than the newer build that they did a few months back. And it's like, okay, so there's like a give and take on that, but like also the fact is like, well, there's like things that you implemented that were way better for the game that are not great. So if your first interaction with the mass public is an older build that's shittier than the one that the rest of the community is like, hey man, we're really excited for this game. It's like, you're kind of doing this weird, you know? But I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, I just want a game. I don't know if I want like the Battlefield style game, something way too fucking big, but like something a little bit smaller map, very much so the Call of Duty aspect of it. It's like, I just want to build a kit, put it together, jump in, make some kills, get some dope fucking like gunplay, work on a KDA, and then get out. I'm done with the gear, like not the gear fear because of like Tarkov. I'm just sick and tired of
rebuilding your kits.
I'm just sick and tired of us playing 10 minutes of Tarkov and 45 minutes of fucking Inventory Simulator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we sit down to play Tarkov for 2 or 3 hours and we maybe get into 1 or 2 raids. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking cancer, dude. And it's like, I'm sick of that because like how much that game is dope, like, is taken away from the fact that there's so much goddamn downtime. There's either too much map running where I'm just running across the map, or there's just not enough like gunplay. When I get into the gunfights, they're fucking sick. Like, I've been running because I've been like alt-F4ing and running customs over and over and over again to get to dorms. Like, how many times I show up to dorms and there's PMCs there and I'm in fights with, like, all of a sudden I was like, my brain clicked and I was like, I'm fucking loving this. And that's why I was like, I might do Arena. Because I get the Tarkov. If you
like the Tarkov gunplay and stuff, Arena is pretty decent.
Yeah. I have it. Might as well, right? Like, I don't see why not, because it's like, that would be sick if it gives it. But then Arena is also kind of a downtime too, because it's a 1 life match. Now it's a little bit quicker than Tarkov, obviously, because you're already pre-built as a kit. Like, you know what character you're picking to go in.
It's quicker, but like sometimes, you know,
if you die first, you have
super long, but
not long, but like if you die first, you're still sitting and waiting.
But they don't have like a TDM where it's just like who's racking up the most.
Exactly. And that's
it's all either like search and destroy or team kill or objective, shit like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So then when you look at it, it's like, what's left in the fucking gaming industry? It's Call of Duty. It's not anything else. But that's also why I kind of want to go into Battle Royale again. I don't want to play Apex. But like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay going back into PUBG if it just gives us something to do like that.
Dead Rob.
I'm not paying into a game though. I don't want to pay into a game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay into a vertical slice of a game. I want to play a game that's already there.
Yeah. Plus, Dead Rock really fell off after Pizzagate. I don't think anybody's going into it,
I mean, I just also don't want to get put on an FBI list for playing a game that a pedo would fucking put.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand. By the way, did you download Epstein Island, the video game?
I mean, I have it. I haven't downloaded
it.
Okay. It's owned.
It's in my list.
But
yeah, Raj.
That's it. Other than that, now it's also just like I want to find something multiplayer. I think that's what's been so nice about Spoopy Month, even though we have not been able to do a whole lot with it. I feel like I've been falling way behind. I thought I was going to have a ton more videos out. Unfortunately, this is the worst time in my life and the year to fucking pump. You know what I mean? Recording alone and then trying to edit and like with all the other shit going on, I just don't have the time. Like we did Outlast Trials last night.
That was fun.
What a fucking great game. I forgot how good that game is. It's creepy.
It was giving me for real like jump scares and chills. Like by myself. I don't know if I would play that like at night. Like it was weird and creepy enough. When it's like when you're with people, you're like you get to all like run around and scream and laugh. It adds some levity to it. It still has like some jump scares and stuff.
Sure.
But man, playing it just that like tutorial by myself, even that was just like
when I was like, I heard you go like, huh, and I was like, you're right over there. You're like, oh, that guy really fucking got me. Was it the dude in the corner or whatever it was? Like of the tutorial? Yeah, dude, that's the guy that got me too. I fucking when he was like in the kitchen or whatever the hell it was. Yeah,
he jumps out from like a cabinet or something.
The one that one hit me when I first did the tutorial when we first played it. I recorded that because I think we played. It was me, Sean.
Like you probably
Aaron,
heard my mouse like for my hand like jumping back.
Yeah, I have a recording of me going, "You motherfucker!" Yeah, it's creepy, dude. It's weird, and I think that like it adds a little bit to it when you've got to go from rooms that are in light to the night vision. You're flicking it down, flicking it off, flicking it down. And like how many times I've gone into dark rooms and flicked it down, and then something is running at me, and it's like, it's creepy, dude. But that was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun. That was just creepy enough and just weird enough that it just kind of gave me that like I want to play games like that. I want you know what I want to do? I want to get into GTFO again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a shooter.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Like something that's kind of co-op-y, something that's a little bit more tactical, something that like makes team
something that's a little more tactical. The first thing I say, okay, everybody be real quiet.
Yeah.
No!
Oh my God. I mean, anything could be like that. But I don't know, man. I think that we've been grinding on Tarkov for what, about a month now? Maybe longer? Couple months?
It's carried us for quite a bit.
I think it's time for something just new and fresh. I'm okay continuing to play Tarkov. That's like Aaron said the other day. He said something, and I know it's a fucking bold-faced lie. Because he was like, he was playing Tarkov by himself. I got on and I saw him in Tarkov and I was like, oh, you're addicted or whatever. He's like, no. He's like, it's just the only fucking game we all want to play. So I have to play this piece of shit because everybody else is playing it. And I was like, and part of me was like, don't lie to me. But then part of me was also like, he might be right. Like, what else?
Why can't it be both?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point because it is a giant piece of shit. I'm not getting any better than I am right now, and I think I have kind of plateaued at a point in PvE where, like, I'm hitting better shots. I'm getting those headshots. I'm more like understanding where it is. I've got everything down to a fucking T where like my flicks are feeling a lot better. I'm hitting shots way better than I ever have. I understand my ammo. I understand my weapons. Like I'm way more accustomed to being able to fucking peek corners, play stuff, know where certain angles are, know where fucking, you know, things are going to start spawning. I've got that knowledge down for a lot of the maps, if not all of the maps. But I'm not getting anything more out of it other than like,
so you need PvP.
I think that's what it's coming down to. I need the next,
Because if like you're going to plateau in PvE, you know, you eventually like even learning like the hardest guards and fucking bosses and stuff, you will figure it out. That the only outlier being when you're in PvP, you have other people that are also at that level or possibly better or worse, but also how the AI is not only reacting to like one like real player, you know.
Yeah.
Now they're actively getting pushed, not by you. They're not like, you know, like hive minding with other scavs and like it's not working together, but they're all kind of working together. Like when you get like them being pushed from where they would normally be from somebody else into where you are and shit like that. That's where it's really starts getting.
So I popped into PvP and I played a couple maps, and I went to Ground Zero, right? And I was doing some Ground Zero stuff in PvP, and I went to do my mission where I got to get the scientist key or whatever, and I was running through the map, got downstairs, realized that the key was already taken from the body. Just my knowledge alone, knowing that that key wasn't there, meant that there was another player had already been upstairs. So when I went upstairs and saw the door was open, I fucking started doing my creep stuff and like trying to find an angle to push and hold to see if he was in there and stuff like that. And then I heard him in the other room next to that room.
Yeah.
And so I was able to hold the door to wait for him to fucking pop it open before I murdered him. And so creeped up, held my corner, waited for him to pop the door open. When he came through, I just wrapped it up and then took his gear and stuff like that. That's something that you don't get in PvE. Right. It's like, not only do you have the map knowledge, the knowledge of what's there, knowledge of where people would be going based on the things that are on the map, but then
it just feels better.
It does to a degree, right? PvE feels really good because you never have to deal with cheaters or bullshit. Because immediately
just knowing that somebody is like breaking their keyboard because of you, like knowing like you are the reciprocator now.
Yeah.
Like what these like fucked up scenarios have done to you where you're like, I just need to fucking breathe. You could be that for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like a perfect example of that is like I immediately finished that, wrapped it up, even on PvP grounds. Like I was telling you, I went through and I finished that whole thing, and then got sniped by some dude up in a fucking corner that was doing his shooterborn stuff. And I was like, God damn it, dude. Like, what the fuck? You know, and it was enough for me to be like, man, whatever. You know, fucking re-gear and go back in. And then the next map, I put down like 5 PMCs and ended up dying in a firefight to somebody else after I took out one of his squad mates. So me and his squad mate were in a fight. I lost a ton of health, blacked arms, things like that. Then his squad mate came up. I put a bunch of rounds into him and he finished me off. And it felt good because I was like, damn, that was a good interaction between just like shit going down. Like, yeah, I was the loser. I definitely fucked his friend up though. Hopefully he was on a quest, dickhole. But there was that like instant like gratification of like I got a bunch of shit done, and like I lost a bunch of the good shit that I got in the raid by killing the other PMCs, but at the same time it was like give and take. And then that's kind of flipped me into the next thing of being like why I want to play Call of Duty again, and not necessarily just Call of Duty, but in that aspect what is left Call of Duty, because
Omni movement is calling your name.
Yeah, I just want to play something like that. So did you see the robot fucking cyberpunk battle royale game that's out right now with the
off the grid.
Yeah, so I've been looking into it a little bit because I was like, oh, maybe we play off the grid because a new BR. I was trying to get it after we talked about it. I was fucking taking some time to really pay attention to it. You know, that game is an NFT game.
It is?
Yeah, there's a hard fucking point of NFT in that game.
Hell yeah, bro. We're bringing it back.
But here's the thing about
episode 3, ladies and gents.
But here's the thing. Outside of the NFT crypto bullshit that they fucking have decided to factor into that video game, apparently the BR version of it, dope. apparently like all the people that are like, even with all the crypto and weird bullshit and things like that, and there's some things in there because of the crypto and because of the way the progression system works, as because it's a BR/extraction shooter. So it's like you BR, but you
get those special arms,
special weapons, and all those different things. But then, like, based on your crypto, you can actually kind of increase and decrease certain things to kind of, you know what I mean? And so it's like, at what point does that kind of get out of control? Or like for the player be like, I don't want to be as a new player who can only put in a couple hours a day versus like sweats that are fucking chadding out for 20 hours a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or just like, hey, well, if you want to put in a ton of Ethereum, we'll just give you max rank, you know, type of fucking thing.
Yeah.
But for everybody that I've been watching and the stuff that I've been watching, everybody's like, the BR is great. It's a great game. It feels good. The gunplay is good. The movement is good. The traversing the map as a large fucking map feels good. I'm like,
I know. I know.
Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time we just take a fucking, just
dip our toes in the water.
Yeah. Park it. Go get lunch.
Go dip their little toes in.
Why not? Why not?
Hey, bud. Come take a little swim.
Because you can't do this forever, man. I can't do Tarkov forever. I realize why fucking people just walk away from Tarkov at certain points. I also realize why people are so fascinated by wipes, because if I was at this progression, like if I wasn't getting, like if I wasn't hard focusing Kappa and items and stuff like that, and I was just using Tarkov as PvP, like thank God, now that I've been playing it so much, thank God Arena does exist. Because if you just want the PvP, might as well just fucking play Arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like yeah, like
the gun,
it's the same like gunfights and stuff like that, but there is, I don't know, something to be said about like building your kit and stuff like that.
I agree to that. And
but having the full map, and like there's not like there's
how
some
much
maps
does
where
that
you can kind of
really
snipe, but it's not like
matter. How much of that does it really matter?
I don't know. There's some fucking weirdos out there.
No.
Like, there's this guy. He's like, I've mastered the art of sniping, and you know what I've realized? It's not about like you gotta be satisfied stalking the entire time and getting that one kill. And I'm like, you fucking dork, get out of my game. But there's people that play like that, you know.
Honestly,
that's not for me.
I thought about that too, because I watched a guy who was like, 10 tips from a sniper who's got,
oh, this has to have been the same video.
30,000 hours in Tarkov or whatever, and he's like, this is what you have to do. Like, yeah, he's like this whole thing about like you just fucking. You take a shot, you miss, like you're going to reposition and you're going to creep through bushes and you're going to try and you're going to anticipate where you think that person's going to go and you're going to wait for him at that position. It's like, that kind of sounds dope. Taking an M700 in and just fucking hugging a rock for fucking like 30 minutes.
I'll take an M700, but I'm also bringing an MP7 and I'm going to take one shot. And if I miss that, fuck this. And I'm just fucking Timmy sprinting
I
at
also
him.
watched a guy who was like, here's fucking 7 tips from a sniper guy who's really shit at the game. And he's like, first off, tip 1, hit your shot. And he's like, as you can see here, I missed 3 of my shots. That guy's still alive and walking. Oh, Christ. All right, let's wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
everybody have a good week. It's Monday. Remember, the sky is the limit. You can do anything. If no one ever told you that something was impossible, would you not be able to do it? Keep that shit in mind. All right, we're out of here. Bye-bye.